The next topic is Cauchy integral formula. So the statement, if f of z is analytic inside and on simple closed curve C, and if A is any point within C, then f of A is equal to 1 by 2 pi I integration along the curve C f of z divided by z minus A into dz. Okay. So we'll go for the see the statement. Which are the things? One is f of z is analytic inside the simple closed curve C. If you see the picture here, see the inside one is inside circle is not C. The outside the curve is C. That is simple closed curve. Okay. And A is an any point inside C. Then f of A is equal to 1 by 2 pi I integration along the curve C f of z divided by z minus A dz. So since A is inside, so if you remember Cauchy's theorem, we are using Cauchy's theorem here. In Cauchy's theorem, integration along the curve C f of z dz will be equal to 0 if it is analytic. The points all inside will be analytic. So f of z which was used in Cauchy's theorem is different than f of z here. So to use Cauchy's theorem, the f of z which is needed there will be this whole thing f of z z minus a and 1 by 2 pi I. If you required 1 by 2 pi I f of z divided by z minus a whole together will be f of z which is required for Cauchy's theorem. Just see Cauchy's theorem. Cauchy's theorem says if it is like all the statements simple connected region and bounded by simple closed curve, then integration along curve C f of z dz will be equal to 0, right? If we see here at point A, this f of z will be undefined. How? So the f of z which is required for to use Cauchy's theorem, f of z which is required, let's say f of z which is required for Cauchy's theorem will be, I'll change the z variable here. Let's say f of u divided by u minus a. Just I change variable u to differentiate, that's it. But if you see here at the point A, this one becomes a minus a and this will be 0. That is 1 by 0 is undefined, right? So at point A, the f of z which is required for Cauchy's theorem, that is f of z divided by z minus a, is not analytic, right? So since it is not analytic, what we'll do, we'll just try to have some points which are not analytic and rest all analytic. Then what we'll do here, we'll take a small curve, small circle C1 of radius r. I have taken, just see the picture here, I have taken small circle C1 along around the curve A, and A as the center, R as the radius, which should be entirely inside the curve C. Then what we'll do here is we'll use consequence of or corollary of Cauchy's theorem. In corollary of Cauchy's theorem, we had if you have two curves C and C1, then these points, if these points are analytic, then integration along the curve C1 will be equal to integration along the curve C2, right? The plan here is we are just having a small space of radius r along the curve A, where the function, this whole function is not analytic. Okay, that is the small space along the point A where 1 by ZA is not defined, right? We are eliminating that, and rest all will be there. All other points which are inside the curve C will be analytic. Okay. See, just we'll read this. Since A is a point within C, we shall enclose it by a circle C1 and with Z is equal to A. Center and Z is equal to A as center and R as radius, such that C1 lies entirely inside C. The function f of z, why this function f of z by z minus a? This is because this is what required for to use Cauchy's theorem. He is analytic inside and on the boundary of annular region between C and C dash. So, where this analytic? Now f of z divided by z minus a is analytic in this region, not inside, not outside. We don't know about outside. Inside it is not analytic. Now by consequence of Cauchy's theorem, that is second corollary, I guess, we have this one, that is integration along the curve C f of z divided by z minus a dz is equal to integration along the curve C1 f of z divided by z minus a dz. So the equation of C1, circle with center A and radius R, can be written as of the form modulus of z minus a is equal to R. We had a problem of this kind where we solved with the circle, the only one problem we had before this. So a circle equation can be written as modulus of z minus a is equal to R. Then as the how we used in the problem, same way, when you take out modulus, we'll get z minus a is equal to R into e power I theta. Then I'll take a to another side, so z is equal to a plus R e I theta, where theta, because it is a circle, theta varies from 0 to 2 pi. Okay. Then differentiate this equation. So dz is equal to differentiation of a will be 0 and differentiation of r e I theta will be ir e I theta into d theta. So we use all these things in main equation, that is integration of C f of z z minus a dz. So where this C varies from, see, we can write C, we can use here this one, and C1 is nothing but a circle. We can use this, and C1 is nothing but a circle. So C1 varies from 0 to 2 pi, or theta varies from 0 to 2 pi, and we'll change z by a plus r e I theta. So f of z will be f of a plus r e power I theta, and z minus a, where is z minus a, is nothing but r e power I theta. I'll substitute that. Then what is dz? Dz is I r e I theta. I got even that. Then cancel all, whichever cancels, we get I into integration of 0 to 2 pi f of a plus r e power I theta into d theta. Now the idea is we have to take r as small as possible, because a is a point, right? So we have to find a very small region along the point a. So we are taking a limit, a kind of limit. So what you'll get, this is true for any r more than 0, however small, hence r tends to 0. We are taking a limit r tends to 0. Then what happens, in the right hand side, a plus r e power I theta will become just a. When r tends to 0, r into e power I theta will become 0. So you will get f of a only. Okay. So then what we'll do, integration of integration I 0 to 2 pi f of a d theta. F of a is a constant, there is no theta inside, so we can take f of a outside, I f of a will be there, integration of d theta will be theta varies from 0 to 2 pi, so 2 pi only. So answer will be 2 pi I f of a. Now what I in the equation, what is integral formula? We required f of a. So I'll take all 2 pi remaining things to left hand side. So this goes to left hand side. So f of a will be 1 by 2 pi integration of f of z divided by z minus a into dz. That is the required equation. The next one, derivative of an analytic function. What is that? We just checked for f of a, right? Now we are trying for f dash of a. We got the answer, integral formula for f of a, Cauchy's integral formula. Now we are trying for first derivative, that is f dash of a. So see the statement. Let f of z be analytic function within and on the boundary C of a simply connected region D. We have to write simply connected region, but in some definitions they omit this simply connected region. They'll take it as a default. So simply connected region D, and let A be any point within C. Then f dash of A is equal to 1 by 2 pi I integration C along C f of z divided by z minus a whole square. When it was f of a is when we have to find f of a, that is integral formula, we got in right hand side 1 by 2 pi I integration along the curve C f of z divided by z minus a. When it is its derivative we are finding, we will get f of z divided by z minus a whole square dz. We will go for the proof. So in proof the picture will be same. You have a curve C, okay, you have a curve C and a point A inside. We want to use once again Cauchy's theorem, or to use Cauchy's integral theorem we need the same picture. To get Cauchy's integral theorem we have to use Cauchy formula, right? So picture will be same. The point A will be inside, so A is not analytic. You can see here z minus a, when you put a, this whole thing becomes undefined or infinity, right? So I'll take small radius r along the curve A. Now all the points between this first curve C and second curve C1 will be analytic. All these points will be analytic. I can use Cauchy's theorem now. This Cauchy's consequences, and I can get Cauchy's integral formula. So the first one, I'll take Cauchy's integral formula as it is. That is f of a is equal to 1 by 2 pi I integration along the curve C f of z dz divided by z minus a, and I'll take it as 1. This is just by Cauchy's integral formula we took this. Then let a plus h. What is h? H is a small space, like a plus h is another point which is very much near to a. A plus h be another point, or a plus, let's just see here, let a plus h be a point in the neighborhood of point A. What is neighborhood of point A? This small one, which the points inside C1. So a plus h will be a point in the neighborhood of point A, lies within C. Okay. Then again by Cauchy's integral formula, instead of f of a we use f of a plus h, because the point inside the curve C, C1 actually, it is not C, C1, and we can use Cauchy's integral formula once again. So f of a plus h will be 1 by 2 pi I integration along the curve C f of z dz divided by z minus, here point is a plus h, so z minus a plus h, and we have taken this as equation 2. Now subtract equation 2 by 1. Subtract equation 2 by 1. So what you will get? F of a plus h minus f of a is equal to 1 by 2 pi I integration of f of z, all this were same. So what is different? 1 by z minus a minus h minus, which is there in first equation, that is 1 by z minus a, and the common term, that is dz. Take LCM inside the bracket. So LCM will be z minus a minus h into z minus a. In numerator you had only 1, so you got z minus a minus z. So minus of minus plus a plus h. All the terms z and a cancels, the remaining one will be h. Okay. Now divide whole equation by h. So what you will get in left hand side? F of a plus h minus f of a divided by h, and in right hand side h cancels. The h which was there in numerator and the h which we divided cancels, and we'll get 1 by 2 pi I integration along the curve C f of z dz divided by z minus a minus h into z minus a. Now we'll take the limit h tends to 0 on both the sides. So what is limit h tends to a, f of a plus h minus f of a divided by h? That is the definition of differentiability. So we get f dash of a, because the point is a, we get f dash of a in left hand side. In right hand side, if you see this point h tends to 0, this becomes 0. So what is remaining? Z minus a and z minus a. So you will get z minus a whole square. So that is what required equation. F dash of a is equal to 1 by 2 pi I integration along the curve C f of z dz divided by z minus a whole square. So we found f dash of a. What is next? The next one will be, we will find for higher derivatives. Let's say f double dash of a, f triple dash of a. So I'll generalize that, and I'll take f power or f n times derivative, that is f n of a. So we will prove this theorem. Let f of z be analytic within and on the boundary C of a simply connected region D. We know what is simply connected region, right? There should not be any hole inside. If A is any point within C, then f of z possesses derivative of all order at A, and all these derivative are analytic at A. Also f n of A is equal to, this is the formula we have to find, f nth derivative of A is equal to n factorial divided by 2 pi I integration along the curve C f of z divided by z minus a power n plus 1. Okay, n plus 1 into dz. See, if you see this whole thing is simply connected region, but when you see this formula f of z divided by z minus a, there is a small hole at point A. That's why we are avoiding that point z minus a to use Cauchy's theorem consequences. That's, if you remember, we divided we had a boundary between curve C and C1, and we made it a simply connected region, right? That's what we'll do in background, but we are not showing in this theorem, but we have to understand that's what we did here. Okay, so by how we'll prove this? We'll prove by mathematical induction method. So in mathematical induction method, the first one we have to prove for n is equal to 1. So in that formula 1, in this formula 1, when you put n is equal to 1, what it will be? F dash of a 1 by 2 pi I f of z divided by z minus a power 2 dz. That's what we got when we had f dash of a, right? We just proved that. So when n is equal to 1, the formula is true. Now we'll assume for n is equal to, we'll assume it is true for n is equal to m. and we'll prove it for n is equal to m plus 1. So we'll take f of m power a is equal to m factorial divided by 2 pi I integration along the curve C f of z dz divided by z minus a m plus 1 is true. Okay. So we have to differentiate to get f power m plus 1. So this is different type of differentiation because we don't have the variable in left hand side. In left hand side we have the constant a. So there is a differentiation called Leibniz rule. Everything is same, but here we'll differentiate inside as partially as with respect to that constant. You can just see here f by Leibniz rule the differentiation will be f of m plus 1, this next derivative of a, and all other terms will be same, m factorial and 2 pi I will be same. Where is a is inside this, that is z power a. 1 minute. Okay, see here what was there, a was there in this term, right? Z minus a power m plus 1. So when you partial differentiate, only we are differentiating that, not this f of z term. We are not differentiating f of z term, we are just differentiating z minus a power 1 by z power a, z minus a power m plus 1. So 1 by z minus a power m plus 1, when it goes up it will be z minus a power minus m plus 1. We have to partial differentiate dou by dou a. So what is the partial differentiation of z minus a power minus m plus 1 with respect to a? So since it is differentiation with respect to a, we will get the power, we have to use chain rule now. So power minus m plus 1 will come out, and z power minus a power minus, you have to add once again, right? So minus m plus 2 into differentiation of minus a, that is minus 1. So there is 2 minus here, there is 2 minus here, 1 is here and 1 more is here. So minus of minus it will become plus. So I'll take this m plus 1 with this m factorial. So you will get m plus 1 factorial 2 pi I and f of z divided by z minus a power m plus 2. So by induction hypothesis we proved for m plus 1 also, because if you see here the left hand side is f of m plus 1 of a and right hand side is this. By induction hypothesis we proved for n is equal to 1 and n is equal to m plus 1. So hence this equation is, we proved this equation is true. Okay, this equation f double f n f power n a, this equation is true. So in exam usually they'll ask this all three theorems together for 14 marks. Okay, they can ask each theorem separately, but they even ask these three together.